So now we're going to talk about this set of irrational numbers. So we had rational numbers. Rational numbers, we said they can be written as a fraction, and they include decimals that terminate or stop, and decimals that repeat. Those are rational numbers. Well, irrational numbers are the ones, they're decimals and they don't terminate and they don't repeat. So usually the first irrational number people think of is pi, because we know pi goes on and on and on. It's approximately equal to 3.14159, and then I stop. There are people that know it to like 100 decimal places, but I don't. Your calculator, a scientific calculator, has that approximation for pi in it, carried out to whatever. Pi is actually the ratio of circumference to diameter, but we don't have to go into that. But if you wondered, that's what it is. But it's considered an irrational number. It goes on and on and on, doesn't repeat, and doesn't stop. Other examples of irrational numbers: the square root of 7. Now, I can get, for $1, I can get a calculator that'll tell me what the square root of 7 is. I just type it in and it'll spit out some decimal, and that decimal won't repeat and it won't terminate, because there's no number that terminates or repeats. If you square it, would be 7. Okay, so square root of 2, that's an irrational number. Square root of 10, that's irrational. So a lot of our square roots are irrational numbers, and that's how for this class mostly we're going to see. There's also another irrational number, e. We'll talk about that more later on, but you don't have to worry about that one right now. Irrational numbers, they go on and on and on. They don't terminate and they don't repeat. One more thing on the irrational numbers. So remember we had our sets of numbers and we said, well, okay, we have rational numbers. That included all the whole numbers, all the integers, all the natural numbers. Okay, irrational numbers, those are not the same thing. So if you're a number, if you're a real number, you're either irrational or you're rational. You're not both, okay? So we have the set of irrational numbers over here, say, and the set of rational numbers here. But both sets together, that makes up the real numbers. And this chapter talks about, so this section talks about working with real numbers. So we're going to be working with irrational numbers and rational numbers. But just remember, if you're a rational number, then you're not irrational. If you're irrational, then you're not rational. Okay.